So what you're seeing on screen is likely basically the cut process of how I made the custom character I made. If you saw the 0.5 episode that came out before this video, then you probably know who I'm talking about. Otherwise, there's more I can talk about, or I'm willing to talk about here. As I switch back to World of Horror. So yes, I was doing this impromptu, but otherwise, yeah, there's a lot to say. But we'll set up this run and then I'll continue speaking. So yeah, let's see what we have today. We are going to play on Aaron, but we also have Colt, and I think random item stats. So yeah, also, yeah, we are using perm here, but if I run into a certain bug, I'll explain it again. I was going through a bunch in the last 6 hours, basically. Yeah, let's get into this. So I think we have Colt. Yeah, Colt into random item stats. Hopefully it doesn't matter because I'm running ally attack. And now, for timestamp's sake, let's get into Aaron Colt random item stats custom character once more. And so, specifically, all you need to know, because again, now that I've made more than the low stamina, low reason graphic, as we have knowledge, light, Takshisan, second encounter, charisma, and maybe dexterity check, is that when I want, because I mentioned in the last episode, that I ran into a block. So what I would normally do is do literally anything that has to do with gaming. In this case, make a custom character for World of Horror. That way I can kind of clear my mind and figure out what I want to do. And so as we get Kana, painting, footage, labyrinth, and taxi, then yeah, it's basically this character I like looking at artist styles and seeing how basically to draw them myself. And basically it allows me to learn from it. Now, you just have to take me at my word that that's what I'm doing. But yeah, that's what I did to make this character. So if this art style seems familiar to anyone, just know that it's a certain style from an artist. And I'm sure, obviously, there are artists who share traits between, when they make characters, when they make scenery, even dialogue boxes that they make, or the style of which they place things on their canvas, whether that canvas is a digital computer screen or actually a real canvas in real life. Yeah, again, this is to say, as we move into kind of the disclaimer here, is that I am not that artist, and neither do I have a connection to that artist. I should probably put this in the description, but I'll at least say it in the video here. Oh, that's 3 Doom, really? We need to grab allies, by the way. 5 charisma, I just realized, so we're probably not going to be able to recruit anyone. But basically, if there's any problem, then I will take this character down, because what I need to do is get reacquainted with how to upload onto Steam, because you do it through the beta version of the game, but I'll probably just throw the character up on the Discord, at least, at the bare minimum. But otherwise, as we're here sitting at the legal den, I just realized I don't remember if this is a Doom-intensive run. We'll deal, but I'd like it to not be. So yeah, as I get into the process of how I basically drew the character, and you saw it at the very beginning of the video, but basically I take references from mainly the characteristics. I've mentioned, oh really? I lost an ally here? I wonder if you can lose Kana here, but yeah, I've mentioned before that I like to look at basically the traits of how an artist, makes their characters, makes objects, makes the environment, scenery, so on and so forth. In this particular instance, I think the most challenging parts, mainly for just transferring, that's the best way I can use them, transferring styles to World of Horror, is that, and merging them with, the kind of the style that World of Horror likes to take, but really just maintaining a style at all, whether it's another artist, my own, or otherwise. Funny enough, it's the limitation of the number of pixels you have. So a specific example here would be the eyes. Normally the eyes are one of the big factors to making sure that a character is identifiable by style in World of Horror. We didn't run into a single enemy, by the way. But in this case, so in this particular style, the eyes sometimes have basically horizontal scratches. That's the best way I can explain it. I'm not an artist, so feel free to add in your own vocabulary in your own mind if need be. But essentially, to explain for those who don't know about this part, so in this style, for example, say you have a 1 pixel horizontal black line, and then underneath it you'll have a 1 pixel 1 pixel wide horizontal white line. So, and then you repeat black, white, and so that's harder to pull off when you only have 8 pixels of vertical 8 vertical pixels to use. And if you do something like that, then you miss out on something. Maybe you miss out on the edge of the eye, so on and so forth. Now, at this point, as I realize I am in a ghost encounter, can we get out of this, by the way? We have to throw to flame. Yeah, so in this particular instance, for the eyes, you have to kind of basically move pixels around to make sure that you keep the style. In this case, I wanted to keep the style as close as possible, but then I don't want it to, you know, be unidentifiable as, in this case, a human being. But again, that's some of those limitations or challenges that I ran into. Also, something is appearing on my screen. But as we sit here, yeah, it would be nice to have extra damage, but I lost an ally, so shrug. But another example is the hair, and obviously those might be the two largest things. Clothes for me is probably the next third, if not the second, but hair, so in this style again, the hair is, funny enough, normally not unilateral. What's the word I want to say here? The hair often has a pattern to it in that you're using the same, I guess, slice of hair. That's the best way I can put it at the moment. On top of having well, if I had to draw out the whole body, which I kind of do for the home, the characters normally have a triangular shape as well. So you that follows on to, I guess, the hair that you have to draw. Now here I kind of just made the hair kind of left, right, and center. Also, we have a Thotu flame, by the way, so now we have to go through this, and we take the burns and move on with our lives. But in this case, again, you have to keep repeating it. Now, some stuff. The reason why this is pertinent or important, if I can use words that people can understand without just going into flowery language, is that labyrinth. By the way, is that some styles, you have like one or two bangs of hair, and that's pretty much it. And you can kind of just move over towards the side. I normally end up, I noticed this for myself. I normally end up having the hair just part of the head, which you can kind of see in a lot of anime styles, but there are a lot of hairstyles that I probably should just consider experimenting to draw, and, I just end up usually having the hair end up as part of the side of the head and kind of hide the head. What that results in is that sometimes the size of the head can be a little off, which is why in the last three finalizations of this character's main graphic here, you'll notice that the head size changed more than a fair number of times. And that's because, again, my little mistakes are the hair and whatnot, making sure that it matches with the size of the head and that the head is not too small. Normally it's too small for me in my case, but the other side of that is just having it too big as well. But normally it's a matter of having the head be too small. And then on top of that, for World of... Oh, I need to cough. For World of Horror specifically, you have to make sure that you don't interfere with any of the UI elements, or, I mean, you can, but I would still rather sacrifice a bit of the character rather than cover the UI. Yeah, but that's my subjective thought process. Anywho, can we get out in 3 turns? I think we can. If we threw the baseball bat, we should be a lot more reliable. Yeah. Otherwise, I should probably just Thotu flame my way out. No, it's not worth it. Funny enough, it'll probably be better to forget a Thotu flame. Or yeah, forget a Thotu flame, and then just move on with our lives. So, but yeah, the hair and the eyes are normally my first and second issue. Clothes would be another thing. As you notice, I don't really do well with clothes for a lot of characters that I've made, but if I had to give an excuse, that's not what I want to call it, but you get where I'm trying to get at here, I hope, is that sometimes simplicity is best. You don't need to always be complex, but that's not to say you can't use patterns or dither patterns or any other details on clothes, hair, face, so on and so forth. But when in doubt, or if you need to make sure you have something at least, just, simple white or black, or even the other 3-4-bit colors will work, in my opinion, at least. But obviously, if you want to add more, I just realized I had burns as well, so whoops. But I am so slow, by the way. What is going on? Aaron! But yeah, so clothes would be a second factor. I really need to get better at that, but again, just having it, because a lot of your clothes won't appear unless you make a really small character. Oh my sweet goodness, what happened to me? Empty bottle. What actually happened to me? We're going to do another run because of that. Because actually, I did make an ending graphic for this character. If I don't complete a run within 2 videos, I'll just show you the graphic. But otherwise, let's do another run for the. Oh my goodness, it's a Zik test. We definitely need to work with the weapon here. So I mean, if nothing else, this is the big downside to ally attack. It's actually open to a few major old god and or background combinations. So exquisite taste, I think we had. So we can't even run we can't run ally attack really well. Because what Exquisite Taste does is it locks you out of things like Monument. And if you want to go gambling, or at least have a safer... I do believe History Club is safer than the Schoolyard, as odd as that sounds. And the reason I say that is because the students you get aren't normally going to help you out that much. They can. It's still near 50-50, but I would still rather gamble on the History Club, which presents you with 3 different options, which... one of which you can normally take. Now, maybe you're not taking a perk, but a random spell or a good item that you get from the History Club. In my opinion, at least, I can't crunch the numbers in my head at the moment, will normally help you out more than student knowledge, second mystery, strength, light, dexterity, maybe charisma check. That being said, the counterpoint to that is that if the student grants you strength, mainly strength, then they are very, 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 very good. But otherwise, the other, yeah. So, police station is pretty much a gimme here. Rest is pretty much a gimme here at this point in Schoolyard or History Club, but then you have to consider whether or not you want to trade off a store or a monument, which is why I'm having trouble. Now, and funny enough, Ziktast makes this choice easier because we want to hope for a weapon from a mystery. So I guess that's what we're going to go with. Yeah, and then there's more I could say on the character and making art for characters after that, but if I forget something, I don't want to forget something important, and so I'm trying to think for the moment. Also, Akamanto, Coma, Scissors, Colt, and Flat. So we're going to take Scissors first to grab a weapon, and it's not the bat. If we're on Timeline B, well, that's going to be on Fork, yeah. So, Clap 4 bows, pain. Now, the good news is I think this bat is actually doing extra damage, and it's a bit faster. But we have 3 strength, so that's not going to help us that much. But you never know, right? Even if Ziktast grants us... Can Ziktast grant you 2 events of the same stat, therefore giving you 6 in a stat? Anywho. Yeah, let's move on. Take -2 all damage. Move on with our lives. Now, on the flip side of World of Horror stuff, the status effects, funny enough, are the easier parts, and that's mostly... And I think I mentioned this before. Nice 11 roll, by the way, game. I mentioned this before, but essentially, after you make your character's main art graphic for the UI here, like for pretty much that shows for like 80% of your run, funny enough, in my opinion at least, it gets easier to make the status effects. You can make pretty much every status effect and still take more time doing the rest of the graphics. I mean, for good reason. Even the chibi can take you... Well, for me, it can take me up to like 30 minutes to an hour to make. And that's bare bones, so there are still a few problems I have with my own chibi art for this character, but shrug, right? Which I guess on that note, the chibi art, again... shouldn't be as hard, but it is still as important because with fewer pixels, that means you need to get the character's design across correctly. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Flat, Colt, and Akamanto. I think we take Akamanto now and take Flat third, and then hope we don't run into the boss of Colt, but that's me hoping. So, school, max threat level. It was max threat level. Downtown, max hospital high, but we're going to set it to the school because school. And we're visiting the school in Cape as well, but meh. And I think I mentioned it already. Oh, I meant to trade off reason. My mind's going at the moment. But yeah, again, if there's any problems with this character, please let me know, and I will, if it makes sense from whoever is making requests or making statements to me, then yeah, I'll remove it. Now, again, I'll do my best to work along with whatever requests are given to me, but if you can't persuade me, I don't really think I can do what people ask of me. But that's different, and there's a lot to say about that, and I don't have the time to say it. So, what are our odds here? 85%. We're gonna go for it. Okay, good. We get a Carpenter Hammer for our trouble. This is a very fast Carpenter Hammer, so we're going to take it instead. But let's see if we can even survive. We do have Absorb. That's reason for stamina, right? Yeah. For reason, heal 2 stamina, but deal 3 damage, which number-wise, it looks like a lot more you get out of it than losing reason. But I promise you, 3 damage, it could do... I think if it did 5 damage instead, then it would be up for consideration. But since it doesn't, sadness happens. Also, I think I just die immediately, don't I? Because I just realized I have 3 stamina. Well, we even lost 4 stamina, so funny enough, resting here wouldn't have done me as well. Keeping in mind, we were on a Zig task run, so we'll do 1 more run. Hey, you get 3 runs this video, but... the old god backstory combinations are not doing well for me, because keep in mind, I'm pretty sure, because it's been a while since I did an Athotu ally attack run, and I forgot what the thing was. I think, yeah, Knight Errant. Athotu does not boost your ally attack damage, but guess we're going to find out for sure, because we're actually going to be able to run ally attack this time. So, if we have the charisma check, it would make me feel a little bit better, but we don't. So, second encounter knowledge, light, strength, second mystery, and maybe Takushi's-san. And again, a large part of why I'm doing so many runs in this video is because I'm trying to get to the ending graphic. I've already tested it, so I know it works, but you never know, right? Might as well test it again. Flesh regrowth, and nothing. So, off we go. We don't have a B attire yet because I can't figure anything out, but yeah. So, ward, sailors, bulletin, shuttle, and story. That's interesting. Bulletin, ward, story? Yeah, bulletin, ward, story. And then shuttles and sailors last. So, in that order. Off we go. Now, this can look like it's going to take a lot of doom from me, but I don't really have a choice in the matter because I need to be able to fight. Now, we are in a Athotu run, so we can run from these first encounters, so that's the upside. The downside is we're still taking a bunch of damage. So, I should have just tried to recruit. And off we go. Give me a point of charisma? No. It looks like I lost something. No, actually, we did get a point of charisma, so hey, happy times. But we did lose a point of knowledge, so ghost encounters are going to absolutely destroy me, but we'll move on. So we do get Kyoko. Unfortunately, Kyoko does also I'm pretty sure does not increase your sever damage. Also, I was gonna say something else, but anywho. Oh, so that's what I wanted to say. So yeah, I was making. So this character is one of 3, and each of the 3 characters I was playing, because I did have a plan, but I kind of swerved even in this direction. So now I'm just making not exactly original characters, because these characters are not based off of any artists. Specific characters, but they do use a style of an artist, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to say much more on the identity of artists and artist styles I'm using, just for robot reasons and safety reasons. But just know that, I mean, it's not a bad reason. I'm just being safe, basically. Also, I don't have any allies with me, so... Wait, I do have allies. I'm going crazy. Do I want to take 4 stamina damage? If we can one-shot... I'm pretty sure I can 2-shot this. Sorry, not one-shot, 2-shot. Yeah. So... 20 damage guaranteed. I had to mute to cough, but we're not going to take 8 damage, so hey. But yeah, this character is one style. The second character, theoretically speaking, if I do the second character, will be a second style, and the third character will be a third style. Again, though, I just started working on these 3 just so that I can get out of my dev block. So pretty much right after this recording is when I'll just go back to game development. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm topped off on reason, by the way. That's amazing. But because of Athotu, Kyoko, and I think Fujiko... Yeah, Kyoko, Fujiko, and Athotu are granting us 5 damage kicks, which is actually quite a lot. In fact, that probably might be better. I just realized I did not get the thingamajiggy. I can fight this phone if I so choose, but we have reason. I think we lose reason here, so we'll just take that instead. Could have popped the Inspiring Novel to do 7 damage kicks, but we have Story, and I'd rather pop the Inspiring Novel there. Keep in mind, we do have Knight Errant, so we might just take and yeah, that's why I was like a little hesitant about, oh, I just realized I did not grab the hospital pass, so I guess we take Story now. Might work out better for me, but we never know, so off we go. But yeah, 3 characters, and each character will basically use the style of an artist, basically. Or be a different art style. That's another way to say it. But I mean, I'm trying to be transparent here. Oh, actually, we can one-shot this thing. Can we one-shot with ally attack? No, right? Because, yeah, ally attack does not benefit from the damage increases, so that makes me really sad. But otherwise, time to gamble on 72%. Okay, yeah, that's really, really good, by the way. But, yeah, if you identify the artist, so be it. Yeah, that's all I have to say. But yeah, there were challenges doing things, and boy, oh boy, do I reference... basically, whenever I, start learning from an art style... Oh my goodness, can I please at least hit these kicks, by the way? I do have to look over and reference a lot. I think there's... I don't even remember if I have this program. But there is a reference program that makes it easier to basically... reference. Basically, you... just as you would, if you were looking at an art book in real life, then you turn to your canvas, whether digital or otherwise, and you start drawing. I need to heal stamina, by the way. Yeah, fame will make up for the lack of charisma point. And then I look back, and again, in the example of eyes, I'm like, oh, the eyes are not, I need an extra pixel or two on the corners of the pupil, or I need extra pixels on the eyebrows or the eyelids. Then, I just realized this is a ghost encounter. Well, hey. Oh my goodness, 3 knowledge is actually hurting me here so much. We can't run from this, can we? No, just pain. Wow, that's really bad. We're in trouble here, actually. Can I brace? I can. Can I put more offerings? No. So, we have to brace. So we get more damage per buck, but, yeah, this is really painful. We'll do our best. We can keep bracing, but boy, oh boy, is this a lot of damage to take. Yeah, that 3 knowledge is really hurting. I should have actually just gotten rid of a student, but that ruins my sever damage. So instead, let's just take 4 all and be on our merry little way. We're in a lot of pain, by the way, but we just have to keep moving forward. I'll rest after this mystery. No, I can't afford to rest. I'm going crazy. Why do I do that? Now we have to rest. Yeah, so our doom is a little high, but we have to rest here. We're going to die otherwise. I won't rest any more than that, but that's already a lot of doom to grab, so off we go. And yeah, we still want to brace. Yeah, funny enough, this turned into a very non-ally attack. Now, that being said, because we have fame, we still want to hold on to our allies if possible, but just know that... normally you'd be able to do a lot of cool stuff with ally attack, but in this particular instance, again, Kyoko, Fujiko, and Itotu are really boosting our damage. Funny enough, it actually allows us to one-shot a lot of encounters, which is good. The bad news is our doom is high, so that's bad, but shrug. I did not grab the handcuffs, but it shouldn't matter here because we do so much damage with our kicks. I think we can just fight this. Yeah, we can just fight this boss and be perfectly fine. I think. So, as we fight this dentist, yeah, we'll do our best. This is a lot of damage to do, by the way. This is not laughable damage, unless I miss a bunch of these kicks, but that's a different story. So, we just need to hit 2 of these non-guaranteed kicks, and out we go. Doom is still looking bad, but again, nothing we can really do about that right now. So we'll take... Actually, funny enough, take strength now. Oh my goodness. Let me out! Did I rest? I rested on accident, didn't I? Well, off we go. And yeah, we're in trouble. We need to somehow decrease our doom. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Again, there's more I wanted to say on basically the behind-the-scenes making of this character, but at the moment, trying to survive. Oh my goodness, my doom! Well, we'll do our best to survive. I really just combo broke myself like several times when I wanted to speak on things. This is a very, very bad encounter, but we do the best with the kicks we got. So we're gonna gamble. Yeah, we're gonna gamble because I don't want to run and increase my doom. But if we miss kicks, there's not much I can do about it. So hopefully, hoping that we hit every single kick. Otherwise, pain. Okay, good. Off we go. This should be our last investigation before the boss. And let's see what we can do. I think we take like 2 stamina damage. Question mark? I forgot I'm not doing 7 damage anymore because I'm not using the Inspiring Novel, but that's not the point. Maybe we take 4 stamina. Yeah, we take 4 stamina damage. Let's not take the risk here. Because I could have done this and tried to one-shot, but if I miss any of those attacks, that's a lot of stamina damage to lose. So, off we go. Otherwise, if you have any questions, comments about basically my process of making custom characters, please let me know. I know some. Well, now that I said that, something I remembered was the process of I had a cough. Adding a white outline to characters, and that I think I just started basically using the copy paste method. There are a few methods that people employ. Do I want to gamble on this? I'm going to gamble on this. So let's just make sure. Yeah. Pretty much 50-50 here. And off we go. I really should have just played it safe and braced, but... Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to enter this shop. I was trying to go to the monument. Now we have to use the monument. But... we're gonna keep using the monument until the very end. So, like, I can't stress how much we need to use it, and I guess we can sell these lucky earrings as well, so we don't run into out of funds. But otherwise, I should have treated for stamina. But yeah, again, let me know if you have any questions about my behind the scenes process. Again, specifically for adding white outlines, I just started using the copy paste method. There is a little nuance to that, but it does work. We have flesh regrowth, by the way. Yeah, there is some nuance to it, because if you just go willy-nilly and just try to skip steps, you will run into staircasing. And by staircasing, I mean basically not anti-aliasing. You'll have orthodox cornering. That's not the exact phrase. I'm not an artist, by the way. And that seems condescending. It's more just being humble. But let me see here. Actually, no. Yeah, we take strength. No, take stamina. Yeah, you'll run into staircasing, and basically there is a difference between white pixels. Even I get it wrong because either I skipped a step or during my early characters, nice 6 Doom by the way, into Ill-Fated. I forgot about that. Or not Knight Errant. I'm shaking my head silently, but we're just going for a high score at this point. But here's hoping I get like Ath in World of Horror next video. But yeah, there's a right way to add a white outline around a character. You can go pixel by pixel if you really want to be safe, but if you want to save time, there are, I think, 2 to 3 methods that I've seen called around. 5 perception. Rolled an 11. Well, if it isn't me and Doom. Even if I didn't run ally attack, we would still be in trouble, but yeah, hey, but yeah, not going to take up much more of your time. If you have anything to say, you know, I've already mentioned it. If you want to support me, otherwise, you know what to do. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you in the next video. We're going to be playing the same character again.